I've been getting a lot of good advice lately about promoting my Indiegogo campaign. They People are saying, update your Twitter every day and post all the time and go on interviews and do shows and post comics. And one of the things that I really wish I could do is post more often here on YouTube. And it has occurred to me that since I colorize my strips every morning anyways, it might be good or fun to just show my process and at the same time maybe chat into a microphone about whatever's on my mind that day or whatever's been going on. This one's pretty cool. I like the concept of sympathetic resonance. I first heard about it when if you took a tuning fork and hit it against a piano string, the sound waves from the tuning fork will actually make the string on the piano vibrate, whichever note that is. I'm not an expert on music or anything, but that occurred to me that, emotionally, maybe that sort of thing happens. If I keep saying the same thing into someone's ear, maybe they're going to start believing it too, right? Or saying it. A sort of sympathetic resonance. I think that's interesting how the world of physics seems to rub off on, the world of the mind. So you got this main character, of course, Greg here, and he's drawing, and this happens to a lot of artists, doesn't it? You're drawing, and this voice out of nowhere kind of starts telling you in your head, oh, I'm bad at drawing. Which is a bunch of BS, right? Like, that's not helpful at all. You suck at drawing, you suck at drawing. That's not going to help you get better at drawing. At least I don't think. Maybe he is a good artist. I've never shown his art in the strip or anything, but I don't know. He's not going to get better this way. I don't think so. Colorizing this one was a bit more challenging than it should have been, I think. Maybe I should have rescanned it. In the future, actually, I'm going to have to look at the raw files. Because you see, I'm taking the black and white versions, the grayscales, and then colorizing them. And maybe that's not actually the best way to go about this. As I say this, actually, it's not. I'm just deciding on hues. And that's not really the way to paint anything. You can't just take black and white and slap some color on it. Colors are very rich. You have to think about saturation. And when you have the values down already, it's almost like mud. Shadows look like mud. If you've ever seen colorized black and white photos, they still don't quite look right. In other news, there seems to be a lot of different factions in Comicsgate. And a lot of anonymous people. So you can never really tell who's real and who's like a duplicate account. Who am I really talking to? That's the problem with anonymity. You can't really trust someone who's, not putting their name out there. I understand the value of anonymity, tongue twister. It's good, you do some covert stuff, whatever, but at the same time, can you really trust a person who doesn't tell you who they are? Like, one person told me that, they've got jobs they've got to protect because, the social justice types will come after your job if they know your name and your city and stuff. And that's certainly happened to me, and I understand. There is value to, protecting the people who have put their names out there, because let's say if they did try to come after me, they could theoretically come after my job and stuff. But at the same time, like, if I don't know who these people are in Comicsgate, a lot of them, they're kind of standing behind their personas. I don't know, like, who are you actually Comicsgate, or are you a social justice type trying to infiltrate Comicsgate? Like, I don't know. Can I trust these people? I trust Ethan Van Sciver. He's, I know his name. He's putting his name out there. I know there's money floating around. People want to grab that money. It's like one of those tunnels where they have the fan turned on and all this money's floating around. Everybody wants their chance to stand in the wind tunnel and grab as much cash as they can. But are they doing that because they want the cash or because they really support indie comics? I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Speaking of money, I had something interesting happen to me yesterday that really pissed me off. So my car's brakes have been a little funky. I personally didn't see a huge problem. Like, I would pull into a parking space and then maybe the brakes would grind a little bit. But it was never like when I was really moving and then I hit my brakes. But I was encouraged to change them up, go to take it in. I need to take the car for an oil change anyway, so it's like, oh, have them check your brakes. The guy calls me, oh yeah, it's going to cost, this much ungodly amounts of money, which I don't have. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to fix your brakes for this amount. I'm like, all right, fine, There goes my whole pay, there goes all the money I can spend this month, but go ahead and fix my rotors and my brakes, whatever. And so, you do the whole thing. You drop off the car, you get back home, they call you later on in the day. Oh yeah, we fixed your car, come pick it up, blah, blah. I give them a fat stack of cash. And then I drive home and I put it in park and I realize that the emergency brake hasn't been hooked up. And I got really, really pissed. Like, even when I was at the garage paying the guy, right, there wasn't a lot of professionalism. He had a lit cigarette, and I'm sitting in his office with no windows, no ventilation, and just the room is stinking up. And I used to smoke when I was in college. I'm really sensitive to that smell. I hate it. I hate having that stink on my clothes, and it's in my hair, and I had to shower when I get home. It wasn't very professional, but, it reminded me of, like, one of those 90s garages, except they didn't have a poster of, some bikini Sports Illustrated woman in the back or something. But everything else was like, dirty guys, attitude. You would expect that in New Jersey, it's fine. But the thing that upset me is that my emergency brake wasn't hooked up when I got home. And I was like, the only thing I can think of is, like, if you're that careless and you have that much of a lack of professionalism, you bring a customer into a room with no ventilation, cigarettes, and you didn't hook up my emergency brake, dog? What else didn't you do right? Did you actually do an oil change to my car? Like, this really pisses me off the more I think about it. Like, if you didn't hook up my emergency brake, are my brakes really fixed? Like, did you just file down my current rims and pocket the money? Like, there's a story. Van Halen. I don't listen to Van Halen, but they have a thing in their contracts where if you agree to be the venue for a Van Halen concert, you have to read the whole contract, and you have to do what they say in the contract. So one of the things you have to do, and it's in the fine print, is you have to put a bowl of M&Ms in their green room and take out all the brown M&Ms. And for them, if they came to the venue and saw a bowl of M&Ms without the brown ones removed, then they would know that whoever read that contract didn't read it carefully enough, which would mean that there would be more serious problems in the venue itself. Like, for instance, they've had stages break because the equipment was too heavy. So it's really important when you work with professionals, like, they have to look at every last detail. So if my emergency brake isn't hooked up, which isn't a huge deal, if you can overlook something that small, or that, I think it's a big deal. But, like, if you can overlook that, what else did you overlook? So I've got to call those guys, and I'm really pissed off because I've got to take my car back, and that's wasted time. Every moment counts now because the Indiegogo's going. There was a funny thing on Twitter yesterday that I thought was noteworthy. There was a guy who was talking to a lady from CNN, and he's talking about his success and hard work, and then she's like, yeah, well, you've had all that success because of your white privilege. And it turns out he's black. And then she gets into this whole thing like, sir, I'm sorry. I didn't know that, so-and-so and my people gave me the wrong information about you. And he's like, well, what does it matter if he's black or not? Like, a black man has white privilege. Isn't that just the most telling? Like, they've shown all their cards now, haven't they? Anyone that's successful and hardworking has white privilege. Well, where's my white privilege? I've worked my ass off for years. Where's my success, lady? Or could it be that this white privilege thing maybe is just like a safety net for you to complain? She apologized because she got caught, not because she was a racist. Like, that is a racist thing to say, isn't it? You're successful because you're white. disgusting. I'm looking at my notes and it's like, holy shit, this is not a good place to leave off this conversation, but I don't actually have a lot to say at the moment. I wanted to post this, get into the habit of just updating maybe like the YouTube every day, talking about whatever's going on that day. Like the Gillette commercial, for instance. Yesterday I wanted to do a fake commercial using old stuffed toys of like, what's the women's version of this Gillette commercial, and show like the lady that was screaming at Humongous, for instance, or the mom from Daddy of Five screaming at her children. It's like, yeah, we can play that game both ways, right? Men can be toxic. Oh, women can be toxic too. It's almost like I shouldn't have to pay for the sins of my identity group, which I don't even buy into, by the way. I am not responsible for the mistakes or sins of other men. And in the same way, I cracked this joke the other day. I'm not responsible for other men. Neither do I hold women responsible for my wife's cooking. It's insane to think that I have to be responsible because of other people who look or sound like me. Catcalling and all that stuff, and I'm supposed to walk up to other guys and be like, hey, bro, don't catcall. Don't fight each other. Don't wrestle. Wrestling is awesome, by the way. And I've never been catcalled, but you know, if some women catcalled me, I'd be like, damn. I'm taken, but damn. Thank you. You ever seen that video of the woman being catcalled in New York City? She's walking down and all these men are catcalling her. Wasn't that fake? But then a guy did a version of it and he was getting catcalled by all these women. Like, oh, look at that. Hey, boy, come here. And nobody was offended. I don't know. I guess I do understand it can be scary to be a woman walking down the street and these guys are like giving you a hard time. But like, toxic masculinity. I'm supposed to change my behavior. How about Gillette go itself? I'm going to throw out all my razors. I don't even need to shave. You know why? Because I use a hair clipper. You know, the buzzy thing? You just use it on your little beard, on your face. Yeah, I only shave once in a while. What do I care? I'm trying to grow a beard like a real man. Someday I'll show off my beard. It's not majestic. It's not... You know, I don't drink soy, but maybe I need to eat more meat to get a fuller beard. I want to be a real man, right? Tell me, Gillette how to be a real man. Walk up to guys and be like, hey, bro, come on, bro. Don't talk to her like that, bro. And then you go after the woman when you saved her. Oh, you white knight. Anyway, I'm sure this video is long enough. So, let me know if this is something that is valuable or if I wasted your time. All right, so there's like 50 days left in the campaign. I think the stats were something like 18% funding and 20% time has gone by. There's still a lot of time. There were some interesting developments. Not developments exactly, but like I'm putting out feelers all over Twitter and whatever. Like, does anyone want to talk to me? I can go on any shows, talk about comics, talk about what happened to me with the Reddit thing. Is there anybody that wants to talk to me? And so I sent a thing actually to Dave Rubin's website. You know, they have a little contact section. And they, to my surprise, responded. They're like, oh yeah, we're going to pass this on to Dave personally. I'm like, holy crap. Imagine if Dave Rubin wanted to talk to me. It didn't seem like, he doesn't seem like the type to want to talk about comics, but, well, you know, the politics surrounding comics. But then I was reminded of Colin Moriarty, who talked to him about games. I don't remember if it was Gamergate, but Colin Moriarty got into some serious problems with journalists because he leaned, let's say, not heavy liberal. Anyway, that would be amazing. And there's some other, like, apparently, like, really famous podcasters, like a libertarian podcaster. Somebody, guy is trying to help me get in touch with him. That'd be amazing. But right now the name of the game is going to be updating as often as I can, promoting all the time, and right now I'm working on a video about self-publishing your own comics. So I'm going to be working on that today, and hopefully I'll be able to publish that soon. Thanks for listening if you got this far. I hope you guys check out the Indiegogo, which I will link in the description. Follow me on Twitter, gprime85, and I'll see you guys next time.